Okay, so I say since we have our guest stars with us today that they should start the show today.
Oh crap, Becky, you start. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't remember. It's been a year. Alright, we ready? We're ready. Hi, and welcome to Fur Review.
That's it, we're done.
Okay, this is our final week of our horror month, thank God. And, you know, me and Vince have suffered through a lot of really, really bad horror movies so far this month.
Yes, we have.
I suffered through them with them.
Well, first let's talk about the first movie a little bit, about Paranormal Activity. I know there's a lot of people out there who hated the movie. Karen?
Hello? Where's all the paranormal activity? There wasn't much paranormal activity.
Well, you know, I liked the first movie for the simple fact that the way it was made. That's the reason why I liked it. I liked the idea that a single guy, $15,000 with two other actors, one camera, made a movie and ended up making $200 million. That's what really impressed me.
For me, I liked the film as well as I liked the idea behind it. I agreed with David, and I liked the movie. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the best thing I've ever seen, and I expected a lot more scares from it. But outside of that, it was a great. I thought it was a decent film.
So the trailers for the second movie, after I had watched them, I can tell you this: this was the one movie, the whole out of this entire month of October, our horror month, that I was not looking forward to seeing whatsoever because the trailers looked horrible.
When I saw the trailer for this, the teaser trailer, which wasn't much, I thought,
oh God, here we go.
Yeah, one. Here we go again.
So what did you think? Did you think you wanted to go see it after seeing the trailer?
Who?
You.
Me? No, not really.
Wow.
So how about you?
Me? Well, I didn't really want to see it, but I went and saw it for this because I knew we were doing the review.
Okay, so the movie starts, Paranormal Activity 2, and the first thing that went through my head, as soon as they started the movie and the whole shaky cam and everybody talking, I'm like, oh God, why did I go see this? That's the first thing I thought.
Go for it, lay it down.
For me, out of all the movies so far for horror month, this for me came out of nowhere as being a huge surprise for me.
And I would have to agree with that too.
What it has going for it is it's almost created its own genre. There's really nothing like it out there right now.
They did at least introduce a little the paranormal activity into it a little earlier than they did in the first film.
Where's all the paranormal activity?
I think the big problem with the first film was
there wasn't much paranormal activity.
The guy put one camera in his bedroom and that was it. So the whole movie, you're just watching the bedroom. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
In this movie, the family actually sets up, well, 6 or 7 cameras through the entire house. So you get all these other rooms, and that's what made this movie so good.
That made a world of difference. If it had just been 2 people and 1 camera again, I think it would have been really annoying.
The one thing that I did like is that they set up the whole security camera concept and they start showing it even before anything's really happening, but they always, when they cut to the security cameras at night, show them in the same rotation. So, okay, so you're always going to see the front door, then you're always going to see the pool, then you're always going to see and they always do it in the same order. So every time it happens, you're just like waiting to see what's going to happen. I thought that worked really well.
Yeah, there were a few scenes where you knew what was coming, but it still scared you, and that I was really glad to see that actually. When
nothing happens, you're like, oh, okay, and then the same scene, you're still waiting, and you know what's going to happen this time. And then when it does happen, it still scares the crap out of you.
Yeah, there was a time when I think I almost shit myself.
I don't really get scared in horror movies anymore. They don't really scare me. I don't usually jump in a horror movie, almost never. But this movie got at least 6 or 7 jumps out of me. And one time during the movie, I screamed out loud like a little schoolgirl.
I actually jumped. I actually had a few scares in there.
And she did, because I was there.
I whatsoever was not scared. And I was actually holding on to Vince like, oh God. Oh God.
Yeah.
Of course, they show a baby and they show a dog, and I'm like, could they get any more cliche putting a baby and a dog in a movie about ghosts? I'm like, come on. But the great thing about that was, I think they were like the best parts of the movie.
I think it just worked really well for the movie. I mean, having the baby and the dog. Yeah, I agree. It's usually a cliche kind of thing, but this one it worked. It worked for the film the whole time.
Dave and I usually don't go see movies at night. We usually don't go to like the 7 o'clock, weekend shows where there's a bunch of people. We tend to usually go in the morning when there's not as many people because it's less crowded. But I'm really glad that we went and saw this at midnight, like the first night that it opened, and had a full theater where there was not an empty seat in the whole place, because that's how you want to experience movies like this, with a whole full crowd that's all having the same experience that you are, because it's the first time they've seen it, and that it really brings something more to the movie.
Well, this type of movie is definitely a crowd movie. You go to see this kind of a movie with a crowd, and when you have a really good crowd, it works out great.
And the other thing I thought was great was the daughter. I thought she was such a great actress. I don't know who she was, but I thought it was cool for her, like, oh, it's so cool to have a ghost in the house and everything. That's so awesome. Until stuff starts going down, and then it's not so awesome anymore.
No.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I have to say, all the actors in here, including the two that are from the first film, all of them were just phenomenal for being what they were. I mean, especially with the two from the first film, they were just local actors that he picked. And here they come back for this film, and they're just as good in this one as they were in the first one.
And now, something I got to say about that too is, somehow, I don't know how they did this, and this is a complete miracle for me, is after watching the second movie, they managed to make the first movie cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is not only was this, I thought, a really good movie, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I ever enjoyed the first one, but they managed to, with this movie, make me actually enjoy more and kind of hear noises. Paranormal Activity. They actually managed to make me enjoy the first movie, which I didn't like. So that's pretty amazing that they, not only made a great movie with this, but also managed to retroactively make the first movie better.
Yeah, actually I do. I agree. It did actually make the first movie better.
The one thing this managed to do for me anyway, unlike the first one, once the first one was over, we were kind of like, okay. But once this one was over, I really am looking forward to the third one out, because I think they have something really going here that could make a great third movie, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Because the other films that are like this don't have any kind of ending. They just stop. So this one, again, had an ending, and I actually wouldn't mind going back to see it again.
Okay, so let's give a rating here.
Okay, so what would you give this film, Dave?
What are you going to give it, Becky? 3.5?
3.5.
You're fired.
What are you going to give it, Dave?
4 out of 5. Karen?
I'll give it a 2 because of the little special effects that did happen in it.
I would give Paranormal Activity 3 Normans. Because 3 Normans, that's right.
You're all fired!
I will give it a 4 Normans.
Wow, that's good.
This one definitely deserves the full score of 5 Normans. It was a great, great movie.
But this one I enjoyed a lot more. So I think I'm going to go and give it 4.5 Normans.
Okay, since we're finally to me, I will give this film, I gave the last film.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Hang on.
Did Karen give hers?
Yes, that was the first that went. I gave 4 Normans.
Now, Becky, you gave yours, right?
Yes, I said 4.5.
And I think I gave mine
Which was what?
5.
5.
And I think Okay, now it's your turn, Vince.
I'm gonna give it the full Normans. 5 Normans. It's great. I like this film. It was a much better film than the first one.
I hope I don't try to give anything away, but man, Becky, gotta ask you, what about the
Something strange in your name.
I'm done. I am done. I, for one, am done.
Who you gonna call?
So Karen can actually say that this movie had what?
Paranormal Activity?